Hello YouTubes, what is up? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Today we have a little bit of a special video. We're going to overview the Pokemon combinations and item translations from the official version of Chinese Pokemon Unite. This was made by Ribbon Chew. I have them pinned in my Discord. Shout out to them. What a great couple of documents here we're about to run through quickly. And yeah, I'm just going to show you what's up. Cool. First up is Ice. Ice applies Frost with normal attacks. It stacks infinitely, and each stack adds extra damage per the unit you have on the board. So 4 Ice, you get 8% extra damage, and at 5 Ice, which you need a chip for, you summon Articuno, which I think is quite weak right now, but still super pog when it shows up. Articuno freezes the whole board, and then stays on the field as a summoned unit after that. So that's Ice, pretty straightforward. Water Pokemon, you get increases in attack and special attack by 10, 20. And then with 4, you get flat defense and special defense. And then with 5, you get the wave. And at 6, you get a bigger wave and a cleanse, which is pretty neat actually in the late game. So water, very straightforward comp. There are no water chips. Just play 6 straight water units and you get the dang thing. All right. Pretty straightforward again. You guys know water. We love water. Bang. Psychic now is very interesting. So they restore move progress, aka mana, every second. So with 2 you get 2, 3 you get 4, 4 you get 6, 8 or 5 you get 8 MP per second, and you start the battle with a full mana bar. That's when it really starts to get busted. And then at 6 you get increased damage on top of that. So that's why Psychic is very good in the late game. You really start to notice it at 5 Psychic and 4 Psychic. You don't really get that many more abilities cast in a round at 2 and 3. So typically you'll see Psychic pop off late game, and you need a chip, right, to really make this pop off as well. Fairy, everybody loves Fairy. They summon Zacian. So at 2 of them you get 1 star, 3 of them you get 2 star, and it uses Metal Claw. 4 of them you get a 2-star, uses Metal Claw. 5 of them you get a Drain Crown, and you get a 3-star Zacian. And 6 you get a TM Behemoth Blade, and everything previous. So Fairy, really good. I do believe you need 2 Fairy chips to get the TM on it, if I'm not mistaken, because there seems to be only 4 Fairy units. But if you can get 2 Fairy chips, watch out. Goes crazy. Also, I like Fairy in the early game because it's just an extra unit on the board. And if you think of an extra unit as a percentage of units, when you only have 2 or 3 units on the board, that 1 extra unit, incrementally better. Eevee, or Star Eevee, I guess, they gain buffs. So 10 damage at 2, 10 damage reduction as well at 3. You gain mana. Why did I say it like that? Mana. With 4 EVs, and then if you get all 5, you get 30% move damage. Then if you get an EV chip, which is quite rare but cool, you get a Meteor. I actually have never seen that, or I don't recall seeing it. We will do an EV chip game one of these days, for real. Chips are very strong in general, as you can tell. Fire Pokemon, apply Dot. It's fixed number equal to 1% of the opponent's max HP. So and reduces healing. Fire is really nice to have. If you have 2 fire even, that reduction in healing is great for things like Lapras, other annoying tanks that heal, Wartortle, etc. You just get increased damage at 2, 3, and 4 fire. At 5, you get increased 36, and you cannot cleanse it. And 6, you get 50% damage. For some reason, this isn't showing. I believe it is 4 or 5 fire. 5 fire is when you get the board on fire. Yeah, so that must be you cannot cleanse it once the board is on fire. Cool. Electric. Hey, I wish this synergy was better, but basically they deal electric shock as an additional damage after a number of damage instances. So that can be auto attacks or move damages. At 2 electric, after 6 damages, you get an electric shock. At 3 electric, after 3, you get an electric shock. So it usually is worth it to add the 3rd if you can fit it in. Fighting Pokemon absorb physical strength when causing damage, and each normal attack increases their attack speed. So this is why Urshifu in particular, but also Lucario can be pretty annoying with the lifesteal. At 2, you get 12% lifesteal. At 3, you get 24% lifesteal. And if you ever get a chip, you get 40% flat HP regeneration, which is crazy. You also get attack speed increases at each interval. I've never seen like 5 or 6 fighting. We might have to try that one day. But that's a ton of lifesteal. I feel like you could never lose if you had a Drain Crown on any of these mons. Very cool. Neat. Dark. Really broken in the meta right now as I'm making this video. They reduce both offense and defensive opponents. And they have a stacking Fear Aura, which increases as you gain KOs. So first, it's only 5%. Once you get to 60 Fear, it increases your attack by 60%. This is crazy because you're also reducing your opponent's defenses and increasing your own attack on a percentage basis. This comp is cracked, especially with a chip, so you don't have to use like Zoro or something. It's just busted. Not much else to say. I think everybody's aware of that right now. But for those who aren't, here it is. Grass, the classic lose streak composition. You restore HP for having grass Pokemon on the field. And every time a grass Pokemon dies, you get a stack of new green. Here are the cash out intervals. 10 is 1 common reward. 40 is also 1 common reward. IDK, bro, it's the same. 80 is 1 rare reward. 140 is 2 rare rewards. And 200 is 3 super rare rewards. So those are those crazy items you see in the end game if you can hold on that late. The Quick Claw, the Assault Vest, 2-star, 4 costs, crazy things. And yeah, as you increase more grass Pokemon on your board, you just restore more HP per second by 1%, and you gain more stacks per kill of a grass unit. This is brutal. You get both of these units, you get increased special defense. It's not even that much special defense. Like, Dark reduces your special defense by 90 if you only have 3 of them. This only increases your special defense by 150, and that's the only thing it does. Simple. Dragon, it's just Dragonite. Like, everybody gets, it gets 5% increased attack speed. I don't think there's a Dragon chip either. There might be, but I don't think so. Gengar, increased special attack. It's his Troublemaker. Behemoth, 90 defense and special defense. I didn't know that. I assumed it gave him defenses, but there you have it. And Guardian, I call them defenders. At 2, you get 60 defense and special defense. 3, you get 120, 120. And 4, you get 240 and 240. Not bad. All right, the Speedsters. They just increase attack speed at a percentage basis. Really good to have 4. Burst, this is move damage. So specifically ability damage. Same thing. Pretty straightforward. 20, 40, 60. Special attack, 10, 20, 40. This is the target comp. So Psychic, Electric, and Ice. Support Pokemon, it's just flat HP bonuses. Really good. Especially for Umbreon, Clefable, Wiggly. I don't know why Lapras isn't up here. Lapras is also a support unit. They should have that at the top. This is just flat attack. So opposite of special attack. These are the flat attack units. This is Boxing Glove or offensive. Universal, I call them all-rounders. Increased damage and damage reduction. Again, really great synergy with Kubfu in particular. You get that damage reduction, you get that life steal, you get the increased damage. You should run all-rounders with Kubfu for sure. And thank you. Now, I believe I have another one to show you guys. Held items, let's go. Alright, everybody wants to know this one. Also made by Ribbon Chew, so everybody say thank you, Ribbon Chew. Alright, every Pokemon can hold 2 items, we know that. The TM does not account in those 2, you can add it as a third. They're dropped by the PvE rounds, and you can move them freely during the prep phase. We know all that. This is the TM item. You guys know this by now. Unlocks a special move. Only can use it on 2-star and up. Okay, Rocky Helmet. Flat HP and flat defense, physical defense. And you do a reflect of 3%. Pretty simple. There's a cooldown. 1 second. I gotta sneeze. I'm gonna hold on to it. Leftovers. More HP than Rocky Helmet. but no defense, but you get 5% HP recovery. Really good item. Can't put 2 leftovers on the same mon. They do not stack. Important to know. Buddy Barrier. This is an item I don't pick a lot, but you do get HP, defense, and special defense. And each time you use a move, you get a shield. So similar to the actual Unite game, this would be good in like a Psychic comp. Some composition where you're gaining mana, so you're constantly using moves and getting this shield. Wait a minute, that's low-key cooked, right? That's pretty good. Drain Crown, one of my favorite items on the all-rounder, boxing glove comps, any of those. Fighting, you get 25% lifesteal, attack, special attack, defense, and special defense. It's a cracked item on Lucario, Greninja, Urshifu, lots of good stuff. Even backliners, like you get percentage-based attack, so it is good. Weakness Policy, another great item for similar units. Each time you get damage, you get a damage increase and damage reduction for 5 times. So again, think about Urshifu going back to the backline. It's doing damage to you. You're just popping off. Muscle Band. So this is attack speed. Flat attack speed, unlike the Rapid Fire Scarf, which we'll see later. Each normal attack deals damage equal to 3% of the target's HP. So it is an anti-tank item as well. I actually didn't know that. I didn't remember that. There's a 0.3 second cooldown on that percentage HP damage. Neat. You learn something every day. Curse Bangle. So this is also flat attack speed, same as the Muscle Band, but this applies damage equal to 1% of the target's HP every second and reduces HP recovery. So a little bit better for like less bulky tanks, more healing tanks, right? Good against like Urshifu as well. Things that have life steal, anything that heals, Curse Bangle is good for. King's Rock, 10% attack, special attack, 20% attack speed. So less attack speed than those 2 items, but you also get flat attack. Causing damage to the opponent, reduces defenses by 240. So again, an anti-tank item, really good on auto-attacking backlines, as we've used in the past. Slick Spoon, kind of the same, except for special attack, and you reduce special defense. So you take a look at what type of tanks the lobby is running, and you pick the item necessary of these 2. Kind of support items, kind of damage items. Wise Glasses, flat special attack. Choice Specs, move damage, excluding Unite moves. This is good for Pokemon that deal a lot of damage with their abilities and not necessarily auto attacks. So I'm thinking, who am I thinking? Glaceon does a lot of move damage. Espeon does a lot of move damage. Possibly even Sylveon. Rapid Fire Scarf, one of my favorite items. After 3 attacks, you gain 50% attack speed. And when you damage a shielded opponent, that increases even further. So this is great against like any Umbreon or any tank that uses shields and on an auto attacker. Choice Scarf just gives you MP. This is good for, again, Pokemon that use ability damage, right? Move damage. Curse Incense, one of my favorite tank items as well. You get flat HP, defense, special defense, and causing damage to the opponent will applies percentage HP damage as well. So it's an anti-tank tank item, and you reduce healing. Love that item. It's really good on the front line because oftentimes other front line are attacking you constantly and healing and things like that. It kind of acts as an anti-heal as a frontline item, so you don't need to waste one of your damage items on it. I love it. Amulet Coin, 20% flat damage, and you gain 1 gold every time you win. An additional 1 gold. Don't use this a lot. Lucky Egg, 20% damage reduction, and when you lose a battle, you gain 2 XP. I really want to make this work in a grass comp. If you're running grass and you're losing on purpose and you have the Lucky Egg, sheesh. Oh, Covert Cloak. This is a good Greninja item, Lucario item. 30% attack speed, 10% attack and special attack, and you can't get stunned or anything, any hindrance. Frozen, things like that. Smoke Ball. This one's tricky to use. I'm still figuring it out myself. 10% damage, 20% attack speed, and when you reach 50% HP, you go invulnerable for 2.5 seconds. So typically you'd want this on a backliner, but sometimes like when the backline gets back to you, you just go invulnerable, but it stands there and it's just going to kill you when it's done. I would love this if the backliner like targeted something else, but it doesn't seem like the AI does that, so just something to note. Charging Charm, after causing 12 instances of damage, you get 80% damage. So good for tanky teams where your backline is well protected. You're just sitting there auto-attacking. Maybe you have a lot of auto-attack speed, and then you just blam off at the end game. Focus Belt. This item is amazing. This is one of the super rare items you get for cashing out grass. 45% HP regen and 40% damage. I love putting this on Serena, Gengar, any of them really. Dragonite. And the lower your HP goes, you gain increased damage. So it's nutty. Nutty item. Rescue Hood. So this is the get flat defense, special defense. It is a tank item. You gain mana every second, and all HP recovery and shielding goes up by 30%. Amazing tank item. One of the best in the game. Quick Claw. 150% move damage, and you begin every battle with full MP. This is crazy. Gengar is nuts with this. Dragonite is nuts with this. Any of the 4 costs, 2-star 4 costs, like it's just insane. Again, this is a super rare item that comes from grass. And chips, we know all about these. They give you 1 extra trait, but they must, I get this question a lot. They have to go on a unit that already has that trait. Very unlike TFT. You can't put an ice chip on a fire Pokemon. It needs to go on an ice Pokemon. That kind of sucks, but that's what they do. And thank you guys. This is an amazing presentation. Thank you once again to the creator, Ribbon Chew. Just wanted to put this out there. Again, these documents are available and pinned in my Discord channel if you want to join. That's going to be it for this one, though. I love you guys very much. Peace.